Hey, wonderful person. We're back here talking about narcissism, and this is about your plan to get that distance. But first, if you like this content, hit the like button down below, and that'll tell YouTube that you want to see more like this. And basically, it tells the world that this is a situation that really needs everybody to be on board because it really does hurt the world. It's not a small thing. It's these people walk around like weapons, hurting hundreds of people. One person can do a lot of damage in the world as they go from person to person to person because they burn every relationship and then they go on to another one and they burn them too and everybody they're associated with, all their friends, all their lovers, usually a lot of their family as well, and all their workers, all those people. It's an issue. It's a definite issue, and subscribe to the channel just so you can see the next video that comes out because I'm going to be making a lot of these. I got a lot to say about it. I learned a lot about it. I've worked with narcissists. I've lived with narcissists. That's the worst ever. And I've escaped. I've gotten my life back. And it's a wonderful thing. So the first thing you have to realize when you are going to leave, when you make your decision to leave a narcissist, that has to be tip top secret. You cannot let the narcissist know on any level. On any level. Because they like to put you off your game, whatever that game is. They like to push you off your plans, whatever those plans are. Because they never trust plans. And they never trust other people. So if you have a plan and you're a person, they don't trust it. And they always want to push you off of it. So you're not going to let them know in any way, shape, or form that you have this going on, that you know that they're a narcissist. You shouldn't let them know that how they argue is not normal. It's not normal to have heated, yelling, screaming arguments. It's not normal to call people names. It's not normal to put other people down. It's not normal to throw things. It's not normal if there's physical abuse. And bring up the word verbal abuse. It's verbally abusive the way a lot of narcissists carry on and have fits, yelling fits, screaming at the top of their lungs. That's not normal. You can definitely let them know that. There is a conscious in there. They do have a conscious. They gaslight the bejeebus out of that conscious. But it is in there, you know. When they're doing something bad to somebody, they have a little voice in the back of their head that says a bad person does this. And they gaslight that. They say, yeah, but this person really deserved it. There you go. And then they have to throw in all these excuses. A lot of those excuses are BS. Some of them didn't even happen. But it makes them feel good and they can move on even though they have this little voice in the back of their head telling them that they're a bad person. So you're going to keep the fact that you're going to leave, physically leave. Get that physical distance because there's three kinds of distance: physical distance, psychological distance, and emotional distance. You're going for that physical distance, which is the most important and the most transformative. And you're not going to tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody. You don't tell anybody. It's a deep, dark secret that you never tell anybody. You don't keep it, you don't write it in your journal. You don't put it online. You don't tell your people at work. You don't tell anybody. You don't tell your best friend. It's just a secret among secrets, and they will never know because as soon as they know, they will try and sabotage it. Although they might tell you, get the hell out of my house anyway, right? But they'll also try and sabotage you getting out of their house. It's a disorder. It doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense, right? This is a disorder. A lot of what they argue about doesn't make sense. And that they like it that way because it keeps you off balance. You're always trying to make sense of them and the world and logic and trying to prove to them that they're wrong, and they will never accept it, and they love that part because they're intangible now to you. You can just talk past them though. You don't have to grapple with narcissistic logic because there is none. Or if there is, it's militaristic logic. It's just a logic to keep you off your game. There's no real, it's just psychological mind games. There's no real reason behind it. So, well, there is real reason behind it, but there isn't logical reason behind it, like you expect to be. It's just not what they're interested in. They're interested in that superiority gap. That's what they're interested in. And putting you off your game, putting you off your plan. And if your plan is to leave, they're definitely going to put you off your plan and make fun of you and tell you you're a loser. You're going to lose out there in some way, right? They're going to get that point across to you, that you're much better off with them than you are anyplace else. And then, of course, since they now know that you're planning on leaving, they sense a fear of staying, and they'll tell you that they're going to kick you out or something else like that, hoping that they can trigger you in some other way. So don't even play with that. It's de rigueur, just another day, just everyday pain in the neck living with a narcissist, right? Don't tell anybody. Don't write it anywhere. Even if you have a lock on your journal, they probably know how to pick that lock. Passwords, they're okay with trying to fake passwords to get into your computer and see what's going on in your life. Yeah. So just keep it to yourself. Don't mention it to the dog or the cat or anything. You might slip up. And you want it to be a tip-top secret. So when they do trigger you and you're saying things that you don't want to say, it's not one of them, right? And don't tell a narcissist that you know them, because now you know their bag of tricks. You don't want them to know that. You want to have more power in that situation than they do. I know it sounds like a narcissistic thing. It's a power trade-off. And it is, but this is where you're at. You're in a battlefield. You're in a psychological battlefield when you live with a narcissist. And you need to respect that. You may not like it. You may disown it. You say, no, I don't want to, but you are there. I mean, narcissists can do some nasty things. They can try and ruin your life. They can lie to the police about you. They can lie to psychiatrists about you, get you in a lot of trouble, a lot of hot water, or just kind of ruin your life in a vague way, right? And they're okay with that. They blame it on you anyway. So, yeah, don't let them know any power you have over on them. Just use it to defend yourself, never to attack, because then when you attack, you show your hand. Just use it to defend, and defend well. And one of the ways you're going to defend is to get away from them, physically get away from the narcissist. And they're kind of okay with it, like, because in the one narrative that they're holding, and they gaslight themselves and you on this, that you're the reason, you're a lot of the problems in their life. And when you're gone, it'll just be better without you. They didn't need you anyway, right? They tell you this all the time. Or, I've been carrying you all this time. You're just dead weight. Right? Now, flip coin. When you leave, they're just going to flip that baby around. And now you remember when you were trouble because you were there? Well, now you're trouble because you ain't. Now you're trouble because you're not there. And they're going to tell all their relatives and all their friends how crazy and mean and awful you were. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Because they're not only gaslighting you to the other people, they're gaslighting you to themselves so they can feel better about breaking another relationship. All their relationships end in failure. Not only failure, but usually crash and burn. All of them. The only time a narcissist will come to Jesus moment, like we say here in the southern states, the only time they come to the truth, break down, and be humble is on the deathbed. And that's only in a few situations. Like they're a low-level narcissist, maybe 10 or 20% narcissist, and usually only women. Men, very rarely. Men will be writing you out of the will on their deathbed. Yeah, and it's all their fault, but they'll blame everything on you and write you out of the will. Yeah. Women, on the other hand, can come to reasonability on the deathbed and even apologize for making your life harder, making your life worse. Now, it's just going to be, it's not going to be a sobbing, blubbering, I'm so sorry, I really feel this kind of apology. It's going to be just those words. And they might not even have much more of a facial expression or even carry on any further in those words. It's just going to be like that. But that's them saying, I realize I dropped my narcissism because they don't need it anymore. They've already lost the mortal coil, if you will, of being in this world. And the narcissist is just there. The narcissist is like a shield to protect them from this world. And when they've already lost to this world because they know they're going to die, this is it, this is the end, they don't need it anymore. And then they can just be honest. And this is why narcissists are not schizophrenics with paranoid delusions. They realize because that's what they used to be called in the old days. But narcissists actually do realize what the reality of it is. They just don't want to admit it because it's really, really, really painful. And they don't know how to be any other way. They don't know how to exist like a normal person like we do. They can't. So you're going to escape the narcissist. One way or another, you're going to get away from the narcissist and you're going to return to your normal self. They are never going to have that day. They can't escape the narcissist. It's very rare that a narcissist goes into therapy with medication and all the stars align and they are not narcissists anymore, or at least struggling to be away from narcissists. It's pretty rare. It does happen, but don't hold your breath. Don't wait for it. And also, narcissists can use therapists, gaslight them. And that's not even rare. Sorry, it ain't. So, yeah, you're going to get away, you're going to keep it a secret, and you're going to go on with your life. And it's going to be the best thing you've ever done. Once you get away, you'll wonder why you were spending so much time and so much energy, and you will regret every time you argued with them, and every year, every month, every second you wasted being in their presence. Wasted. Absolutely wasted. Or maybe you gained some kind of experience, but it really just does seem like a black hole because your head was spinning with arguments instead of trying to spin with ideas about how to better your life, how to find more love in your life, how to find more benefits in your life. That's what a normal mind would be doing with its time, not spinning arguments about how unfair it was that the narcissist said this and that the narcissist did that, and how come the narcissist can't see reason because they are a narcissist. They have a disability. It's like arguing with a blind person. You're never going to get them to see your point. It's never going to happen. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. And on some level, they do see it, right? And way, 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 way in the back of their heads. And they're gaslighting the hell out of it. They're saying, no, 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 no. And even if they do realize it at some level, they'll say, well, I'm still not going to admit it because she's being a jerk, or make some excuse around it so they don't have to admit it and they keep that superiority. That's it. So now, when you make your plan to get away, you got to keep it a secret. And some people I've heard go as far as to have plane tickets, and they say they go into the mall and they're just gone. They just evaporate they don't even leave a note behind because the narcissist might have found the note sooner than they could leave, and then the narcissist would have, try and interfere with that. Of course. And then there's the narcissist that say, well, pack your bags. I'll buy you a bag so you can leave. I'll buy you the plane tickets to get the hell out of here. Some of them are like that too. And of course, yes, again, like I said before, you'll be the problem when you leave. But your life will start on that day. You will be born again on that day when you and it doesn't matter where you're moving to. Like I said in the previous video, you could be moving to your car. You could be living out of a box, and it will be better than living with the narcissist because you won't be attacked. You won't be afraid all the time. Sanity will come to you. It is worth every penny. Every penny, every penny, every penny. It's worth every penny. So get out there, live your life to the fullest, and don't let the narcissist into your head, because you need that. Let's go over the 3 distances. Physical distance, psychological distance, and mental distance. You're going to stop running arguments with them in your head. That's difficult. But just you're not going to do that anymore. And tell yourself you're not going to do this anymore. You're done with this. You're done with this. And you're going to do whatever you got to do to stop running those arguments in your head. They don't get any space in your head anymore. You're not going to do that. You have to resist that. Psychological distance. You're not going to act like a narcissist anymore. You're not going to play into their games anymore. You're not going to become this angry person that they want you to be. So now you can play the oppressor and they can play the victim. You're not going to do that anymore. That's the paradigm that they like. They like to play the victim and play you off as the oppressor. When you leave, they're going to tell everybody that's exactly the way it was. But, that's you are not going to play that dance anymore. You have to dance with them in that. They cannot be the victim if you don't play the oppressor. If you keep saying you're the victim, it really messes with their game. Right? And the lauded physical distance, because when you have that, you pretty much have domain over the other 2. When you get that physical distance, it all starts to unravel. All the abuse, all the arguments, all the vitriol, all the hate, all the unfairness of it all starts to just melt away, and you start to feel better almost immediately. And then your clarity starts to come on you. And then one day you'll be living on your own and you'll say, you know what? Damn, it's been like a year or more since anybody has verbally abused me. I just started an argument on me out of nowhere. Has called me names. It's been like the longest time. Like I don't even remember it like it's a dream like it ever happened. And that's your gift to yourself. Believe in the narcissist.